Hello there guys, Fengferth here. DayZ. Oh yes, we all love a bit of DayZ, don't we? Of course we do. However, a lot of people can't experience the joys of DayZ, mainly due to the fact that they can't run the damn thing. More unfortunately, however, is people that can run the damn thing get really low frames per second. And hopefully this is what this video is going to help you with. So my original video covered the 1.7.1 update. Since then it is now 1.7.4.4 and there's been a lot new options added to the game. Added to this game, well, Armour 2 obviously, but including DayZ. So a few things I want to point out before I carry on. Firstly, I now have a new graphics card from my previous video. The previous video had the Radeon HD 6670 2GB version. My new one is the Radeon HD 7970 3GB edition. Secondly, I'm going to leave my specs in the description below. This means that if anybody asks me for what I've got, graphics wise, well, anything, all my specs, I'm probably going to ignore you. I'm going to list all my specs, and I suppose I'll even list what Ale I like, you know. Yeah, let's just say that if you ask me what specs I have, then you are me a point of Ale that I like. Simple as. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, thirdly, this is in 1080. The problem with my old video was that I used a video editor. Unfortunately, it's a freeware video editor, which means it was really poor quality. Unfortunately, I still don't have a video editor, which means this will be raw. It's live, and I am prone to fuck up. If I do fuck up, I am completely sorry. It is going to happen, as in all my videos. So please expect it. Okie dokie. So let's crack on then, shall we? Firstly, a couple of things before we actually go through the video options. I absolutely hate the head bob, right? I know a lot of people do as well. Just look at this. When you're moving, your head goes blah 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 blah. That is really annoying gameplay wise. And although it can ruin the immersion of the game, I simply just prefer it off. It's absolutely horrible, especially when trying to look for stuff. So yeah, you might want to take that off. So there we go. Used to be a DayZ UI. For those of you that remember back in the good old days of 1.7.1 and maybe even 1.7.2, there used to be a UI that was in the corner there, as featured on my previous video. No longer there because you can no longer have it. Indeed they do. Why we're looking at audio, I don't know. But we're going to look at controls. Get rid of mouse smoothing. For the love of God, get rid of mouse smoothing. That one, your aiming with smoothing on is absolutely horrible. It's like woo, woo. As in, I move my mouse that way, 20 minutes later, your mouse will move that way at a very slow pace. So I'll get rid of it because it's very annoying. Why there's even an option to have it on in the first place, I have no idea. Artificial lag into your game, excellent. Okay, let's go to the video options. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through each individual one, try and explain what each one does and whether it affects your frames or not, and then we'll call it an end. Indeedly do. Firstly, visibility. Don't change this because if you do, nothing will happen. Well, unless you go lower than 16, which you shouldn't. Basically, DayZ limits this to 1600. Obviously, the reason for this is so that it's fair on all kind of computers. Blah 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 blah. Of course. Brightness and gamma, adjust to your liking. At the end of the day, it's up to your monitor whether you need more brightness or whether you need more gamma. Quality preference, you want to keep this on what it is. This will be your default. But you can now change interface resolution and 3D resolution. You want to keep these exactly the same. So as you can see, it's at 1080. Your 3D resolutions really needs to be exactly the same or as close as possible. If it's not, your screen will look really funny. The textures will be blurry, really blurry. Okay, so texture detail. This obviously affects textures. If we go to low, not normal, let's go to low and see what that looks like. Please. Okay, so as we can see, it looks like a pile of shit. As you can see, the trees look like cardboard cutouts, and the grass looks like, well, grass, I suppose. So if we go to very high, please change to very high. Please change to high. Go to high first, then very high. There we go. Okie dokie. Sometimes you have to do this, sometimes it doesn't recognise it. As you can see, the trees don't look as much as cardboard cutouts now, even though they still do. And the grass still looks like grass, just more good quality grass. Yeah, excellent. And that will obviously affect your frames quite a bit. So, have it to what you're comfortable with. Video memory. This, I cannot stress this enough. Keep this at default. Sometimes in the default, when you actually load the options menu for the first time, this might actually be on high or very high. Take it back to default. What this does is the video memory, when it's set to high or very high, it only recognises so much of the video RAM. I believe it's 512 megabytes. Now it's good if your graphics card doesn't go over that, obviously, but if it does, basically what will happen is any other processors that you've got going, so for example for me I've got Bandicam running, it will lag out completely. It won't lag out completely, but it will basically it will give you less frames, simple as, if you're doing anything as well as running DayZ. So you want to keep this on default. Oh god, I can never pronounce this. Yeah, get ready to laugh. Okay. Anisotropic filtering. Okay, shut up. That ain't the point, right? The point is, what did it do? Okay? Now you've had your laugh. Basically what this does, it smooths out lines. No, it doesn't smooth out lines, it makes the lines less blurry. It's anti-aliasing that makes the lines less... no, just smooths them out. Okay, let's just show you anyway, okay? So let's just actually press OK. Let's actually get someone we can see lines. Would be a very good idea. Oh look, we're conveniently right next to train track lines. This was not pre-done in any way whatsoever. Hint hint. Okay, tram lines, train lines. It's train like tram. I don't think trams was invented that day. Well, there might have been. I don't know. I have a clue. But anyway, let's go. So options, let's go back to video and let's just show you. Okay. So as you can see on low, let's just disable it full stop. And it won't let me know, will it? Of course it won't. Don't do that. Low. Normal. High. Yes, now I know the grass is funky. Hang on. Very high. Okay. You can actually see a big difference between disabled and very high. It's a massive. Just look at that bit there, right? Just concentrate on that. Disabled. It's gone really blurry. Very high. It's pretty much high definition, 3D in your face. Now I have no reason. I have no idea why. Not no reason. No idea why. But for some reason, when I press on this, you get all this. Yay! It's colourful. If you actually watch my recent DayZ, Lingual Island with Kyle, you'll notice that it was actually set at this. My dumb fault. I didn't realise at the time until it was too late. So yes. Will this affect your frames? Not really, actually. You'd be surprised. If I disable this, I have exactly the same frames. Let's just see what I have when I'm moving. Now, it's pointless me telling the exact frames because I'm obviously recording. But I'm going to tell you anyway. So I'm getting 25 frames at the moment recording this. And woo, 60 frames up there. And and I'm getting 30, bloody hell. So that's on whatever that is. What was it on? I can't remember. That was with it disabled. We're very high. Let's just press OK. And of course back. And I'm now going. Oh my god, I'm getting 30 frames. It doesn't really seem to do anything, as I said. It doesn't really affect it at all. Oh no, I've got 70 frames looking in the sky. Okay, so long story short, it doesn't really affect it that much. Anti-aliasing. This smooths out the lines. Ooh. Disabling it not only fucks up your screen, as so. As you can see, they are very choppy. Very choppy. Okay. Now, if we have it on very high. Yes, come on. They're not so choppy! Woohoo! Funny how that works, isn't it? Now, this doesn't really affect my FPS at all. However, after watching some of the other videos and reading some of the thumbs up, it does seem to affect some people. So this is just a cause of concern. A lot of people find having this on 6 is usually the best. I have no idea why. Because, hey, it still looks the same to me. Yay. The grass actually looks a bit better, in all honesty, like that. Let's just look at that there, and then go to grass on very high. Let's have a look. No, the grass still looks like grass. Of course, see a difference myself, so that stays on very high for me. ATOC. This stands for Alpha 2 Coverage Anti-Aliasing. What this does is not very clear. However, I will go through this last because there's a neat little trick with this. I'll go through that in a bit. Terrain detail. Obviously, having this on very low will make it really crap. Terrain. Where's the terrain? The terrain is here. Wow, does it look crap? Does it look crap? Looks the fucking same to me, but they are. Hang on, let's go over. Wow, you can actually tell straight away, can't you? Yeah, you can see the white dots everywhere. That's nice, isn't it? That's what you want from a game, isn't it? White dots. Yay. Let's not have that, and let's actually put it back on very high. Does this affect your FPS? Well, we're going to find out. Very low. 30. Look in the sky for some reason. 30. Go into the trees. 32. 33. 30. 33. 34. Excellent. Brilliant. Why are we going on that? I don't know. Let's stick it on very high. Let's see what happens here. Okie dokie. 30. 27. 29. There is a slight FPS hit. 40 in the sky. 70 in the sky. 28, 29. There is a slight FPS hit. So that is pure preference whether you actually want that or not. Obviously, higher terrain detail is better. Object detail. Very low. Unfortunately, we don't really have any objects around. Can we find like a stray can of beans? Well, mind you, we can't really find any, can we? There should be some sort of stupid object somewhere, surely. Come on. Surely. Told you this was all premeditated. I told you it wasn't. Wow, your frame's really good down while you're zooming in. Excellent. Okay, leaves. Actually, yes, I think leaves do actually are actually objects, if I remember correctly. Anyway, they look like crap. So let's see if that actually. Oh, and they look like good. Let's have a look at that actually. Objects. Very low. Whoa. Okay, so very low actually knocks them off completely. So it actually gets rid of all the objects. Now, as you can see, it's actually got rid of most of the grass as well. This is actually quite advantageous for gameplay, because a lot of people might actually go pro. Like this, for example. Yeah, I'm pro and people can't see me because they've got a shitload of grass. They can't see me. However, obviously, if you put it back on, then it's there and people won't be able to see it. And obviously I forgot to press OK again. Of course, why not? There we go. See? And that was on. I was on about just as well. That same trick can be done with the Alpha 2 coverage anti-aliasing. So if we have it disabled, you can see that some of the trees have lost leaves. It's obviously autumn. Whereas if you put it on trees, wow, they've grown back again. It's now summer. Excellent. You can have it on the grass as well, and watch what happens. Woohoo! Excellent. Brilliant. And if you have it disabled, There you go. Big difference. Now, obviously, there's going to be an FPS hit on this. Have it disabled if you want max FPS, and if you want to see people hiding in the grass. Pretty good. If you want less FPS and you don't want to see people hiding in the grass so they can shoot you at free, have all trees and grass. Do you know what? I think I'll just have that. Yeah, all trees and grass. I want to be shot in the head. Okie dokie. So, object detail. To be quite honest, though, on its own, I don't really see that much of an FPS drop. 37. Let's put it on high. 35, 36. It's not too bad. There's a slight FPS drop, but nothing much. Bearing in mind as well, this is recording, so the FPS drop will affect it more while it's recording. So it shouldn't really affect you at all. Shadow detail. This is a funky one. I don't like playing with shadow details enabled in any game. Why? This does hit your FPS. I stick it on very high. Yes, it will take some time. Yeah. Wow. So I'm actually getting really bad frames here. I'm actually getting 25, 22. That is horrible. Don't get me wrong, it looks nice and all, and there is a slight strategic advantage of having shadows if you're in buildings and whatnot, but for FPS it's horrible to have it on. So I always have it off. I think on normal it's slightly it's not actually, it's pretty much the same. Have it disabled, and yes, there's already an FPS increase there. It's pretty amazing, that is. Now, HDR quality. This isn't the quality of your HD recordings. It's really confusing. What this actually does is it basically removes the banding in lighting. So sometimes you might notice when you're running, especially if you've got this disabled, if you've got it on normal, the lighting will spike and it will sometimes get dark. I wonder if I can replicate it. I should be able to. So it's not. See, can you see there when you look into the tree, the shadows just get, and then it gets really bright like that. I mean, that is damn annoying. But if you actually stick it on very high or high, hang on, that's shadows. Oops. No, we want HDR. There we go. So let's just stick it on high and see the difference. Okay. Now there might not be that much of a change. It's only just on high. Okay. Now I'm going to go back out and go back in. See if you can tell that. See if you can tell the difference. Okay. So as you can see, it's fairly okay. If you move into the trees, there's still some slight lighting issues, but it's a lot less. As you can see, there wasn't that much of a big thing. Now, obviously, I'm looking to the sun there, so obviously that's gonna blind me. Now let's just stick it on very high and see what happens then. Very high won't completely remove it, but it will certainly get rid of most of it. Now, does this affect your FPS? Does a bit. Let's just see what happens, okay? As you can see, it's actually not really affected that much at all. It's only really looking to the sky. And as you can see, obviously, there's shadows in the trees, so that's not surprising anyway. But, in the trees, I'm going, let's just have a look, I'm going 30, 32, 35. Okay, with it on very high. If we stick it on, no, not that, if we stick it on normal, and have a look at that, once it's received, of course. So let's just go back in like that and see what I get that way. So I'm getting 31, 32, 36, 35, 37 is the peak. There's not that much of a difference, in all honesty, and you know, I think it's a pretty good thing to actually have on. I'm probably going to keep it on very high. Okie dokie. PPAA. This is the post-processing anti-aliasing. What is this? Good question. However, there is quite a big difference when you use it. So let's actually try and get somewhere where we can show you the effects. Now I don't want to look at the sun because it's quite blinding. I've just realised I don't even have my glasses on. That's not a good thing. Oh well. Not that I need them. Okay, okay. So let's have a look at the tree. Yeah, the tree's there. Okay, let's just have a look at this tree. There we are. To get a bit closer, let's see if we can spot the difference. Love playing this game. It's good, isn't it? Okay, okay. Let's have it disabled first. Okay. So disabled. Can't really tell much of a difference, in all honesty. Okay, okay. Let's have FX low. As you can see, it slightly went a bit darker on the one side, to the left, and you can see it's a bit clearer to the right as well. I mean, don't forget as well, you can pause this video at any time, but you can see the difference yourself, you know. So this is a great way to compare it. Normal, there's not that much of a difference between normal and low. High, I did not see that much of a difference either. So let's just stick it on low again. Low, that's low, that's high. There's not actually that much of a difference that I can tell. It might be because of where I am. Okay, let's try the FXAA sharp filter. Click this on. As you can see, it made everything stand out a lot more. You can see the branches a hell of a lot more. They actually look a bit black in some areas. So let's just take that off again. Let's just disable it, just to show you. Okay. So as you can see, disabled. It looks fine. Stick it on low. It's a bit brighter, and you can see the branches and stuff a lot clearer. If you stick it on normal, there's not much difference between that. High. Not much difference between that either. Perhaps you can see a bit more of the branches, the trunks. No, there's not that much of a difference either. Okay, SMAA. Let's stick that on low. As you can see, it's actually a bit more blurry now on some of the trees. Let's stick it on normal. Nah. High. Looks a bit more clear, but not much. Very high. Meh. It's completely up to you. I would actually suggest you go through all of them and see what you like. Okay. Let me just see if this actually affects your FPS. Okay. So let's just stand still. Okay. So I'm getting 32 FPS. 30 foot. Make your fucking mind up. Okay. Let's try somewhere else where it's a bit more stable. Okay. I'm getting 26 FPS here for some unknown reason, but we'll lay that as a benchmark. Okay, so 26 FPS. Let's stick it on low. 26. Stick it on high. 25. Okie dokie. FXAA low is 26. Sharp filter is 28. Yeah, I'm not joking. That's 28. Fuck me. Okay. Low on that is 24. 24, 25. On very high, it's 25. So, just bear in mind as well, everyone's graphics card is different. They'll handle things differently. So it's still a decent, it's still pretty good to actually thingy. To thingy? I can't think of the word. Just try everything out. Simple as, okay? I'm going to keep it on low. I kind of like that. Although it does seem a bit bright in some cases. Whoa, it seems really bright in some cases. Okay, we're just going to disable that. That's actually really horrible. No wonder why there was an increase in that. Fucking horrible. Let's just disable it. Okay, okay then. Post-processing effects. This is horrible. Okay, I ain't having this on. Let me just show you first, okay? Post-processing effects, what this does, it makes it very blurry when you move, okay? So let's just move. As you can see, there's no blur whatsoever as you move, okay? It's really nice, okay? It's really nice and clear. You stick this on, okay? Guess what happens? I get caught by zombies. That's what happens. Oh shit. Okay. But as you can see, it's now very blurry. So I now need to aim at this zombie and shoot him in the head. Missed. Shoot him in the head. Got him. There we go. Okay. But as you can see, it's really nasty. It's really blurry. Have I excited anymore? Doesn't sound like it. Yeah, this is really annoying. And a lot of people don't like this. And it's not surprising because it does make it blurry. Not only that, your FPS fucking shoots down. I've got 20 FPS on this. It's horrible. Fucking horrible. Right. So I'll take that off. Disable it. Disable it. Get rid of it. It's horrible. Who wants it? No one. No one wants it. Unless you want realism. Anyway. Interface size. You need to experiment with this. But what this will do, this will basically make these bigger and smaller. I'm not going to actually mess with it for one simple reason. It tends to fuck up with your other resolutions, so I won't actually recommend using it if it's right in the first place, okay? Aspect ratio should be on default. Mine's at 16:9. Widescreen should be the same as your monitor. VSync. Let's explain what this actually is, right? A lot of people seem to be confused what this actually does, okay? VSync should really be kept disabled, right? What it actually does is it alters the frequency of your monitor to match the game. So if you got it enabled, you will experience FPS drop. Okay, now mine's actually disabled at the moment because I have no screen tearing whatsoever. You'll know if you get screen tearing because when you move, especially when you're moving and looking up and down, the screen or the actual monitor will have probably black lines. It could be, the black lines could be anywhere, but they tend to be in the middle of the screen. So if you're moving like this, you might get black lines. Now this won't be present in the video anyway, even if I did, because it doesn't record the actual screen tearing. So if I stick it on, I'm just going to show you anyway, just for practical purposes. We have 26 frames, 30 frames moving. Why? I have no idea. However, there's not much screen tear. I did have a little bit of screen tear, but nothing noticeable. Nothing as bad as thick black lines that some people do get. So I'm going to keep mine disabled. And I believe that's all the video options covered. Now, there are other ways you can tweak your experience and your FPS. However, I'm not going to go through it in this video. If I can actually find the documentation on the internet, there's a very good guide to actually make you have better FPS and better utility of the game by editing the config files. So I will leave that in the description if I can find it. And I believe that is it for my lovely demonstration and the update of 1.7.4.4. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe to me like everyone else does, and I'm not going to ask you to like the video like everyone else does. You do what you feel is best. If you actually enjoyed the video and if it did help you, then by all means like it. If you don't like me, don't subscribe. Reverse psychology. That's what I'm trying. Did it fail? Probably. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.